Here is another great story. This is absolutely one of my favorite books of all times. I enjoy reading this book every time, and so I hope that this is something you're going to love too. And it's another dog book. We read a dog book earlier um, about a dog that had dreams, but this one's a little different, and I think you're going to find it very entertaining. How are you today, by the way? Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing well. All right. So this book is called The Night I Followed My Dog. Or The Night I Followed the Dog. Look at that. There's a dog riding in the car. What's that about? Let's find out. Okay, I'm going to read again because there's lots of words and then show you the pictures. So listen carefully and listen and make a picture in your brain as well. Use your imagination. All right, here we go. I have a dog. Nothing exotic or special, just an ordinary dog. In fact, I always thought he was kind of a boring dog. What I mean is, he can fetch and roll over, all right, and shake hands, but mostly he just sleeps and eats. Does your dog eat and sleep? I used to think that our next door neighbors had the best dog in the world. Their dog can sing and change the channels on the TV. Their dog always wins medals in obedience school. But I don't think their dog is so great now. Not since the night that I followed my dog. It's the neighbor's dog winning medals. Every night I let my dog out, and he runs off into the darkness with his tail wagging. And the next morning I let him in, and he heads straight for the food bowl. But one morning I knew something was a little funny when I opened the door a little bit earlier than usual, and I saw my dog jumping out of a limousine wearing a tuxedo. What? He's getting out of a limousine, which is a special kind of car, and he's wearing a special suit called the tuxedo. Oh my goodness. What's going on here? Before I could look twice, he disappeared into the backyard, and I opened the kitchen door and I whistled. And when he came into the house, oh, he was the same as he always is, hungry. I really wasn't sure that I believed what I had seen, so that night I decided to follow him. I wore dark clothing so I wouldn't be noticed, and I left my bicycle near the door, so I have it close by. When I let the dog out, I slipped out too. I took out the garbage so he wouldn't suspect anything. The dog went straight to his doghouse. I saw a light go on inside. Slowly, I snuck around the corner into the backyard, and I peeked into the doghouse. This was not the doghouse that I had helped build. Inside there was a living room, a bathroom, and a huge closet full of fancy clothes. The dog was in the bathroom. He was wearing a tuxedo and fumbling around with his bow tie. When he came out, he casually walked out of the doghouse, across the yard, and down the street. where you got all those clothes from. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I grabbed my bicycle and I followed him. 2 blocks later, I saw a limousine pull over. Remember, that's that fancy car. The dog got in and the car took off. I started to pedal faster. The car headed across town. I thought I would lose them, but luckily they were stopped by a few red lights. Whew. Must have to pedal very fast to keep up with the limousine. After a while, I found myself in a part of town that I had never seen before. The buildings all seemed to be empty, and it was very, very quiet. The limousine stopped. I hid, and I watched my dog get out. He disappeared into the building, and the limousine pulled away. There was nothing on the outside of the building. Just 2 brass fire hydrants on either side of the entrance. I opened the door, and at the end of the hall there was a neon sign that said, "The Doghouse." I crept a little bit closer. It looked like some kind of club. I decided to get a closer look. See the neon sign? It says, "The Doghouse." Neon sign is a sign that's lit up brightly. The moment that I opened the door, 2 mean-looking dogs, bulldogs, appeared and said, "Hey, you can't come in here." I didn't know what to say. So I said, but I saw my dog. I think my dog's in here. Just then, my dog walked over and said, "Hey, it's okay, boys. He's with me." The bulldog said, "Sure, boss. Whatever you say, boss." What? You talking now? Oh my goodness, that's funny. For a minute, they seemed like forever. I waited, and then my dog said, "I knew you'd find out eventually. Well, now you know. This is my place." I looked around and finally I asked her, well, what is this place? My dog said, This is a place where dogs can come after a hard day. It's a place where we can relax, and it's a place where we can talk about our problems with the mailman or with the poodle next door." Fancy place, doesn't it? You feel a different dog. See the sofas? We can sit down on the sofas here. We can get treats without having to lie down or roll over or play dead. And if we want to chew on a shoe or chase our tail, no one will stop us. We have no masters here, no leashes, and no rolled up newspapers. This is a place where dogs can be dogs. What's the dog singing? Dog playing the piano. My goodness. Looks like a fun place, doesn't it? We sat down, and a Cocker Spaniel came by and asked me if I would like a bowl of water or some dog biscuits. Little by little, dogs of all kinds started coming in, and they were dancing, and some were talking, and they all looked at me a little funny. But when they saw who I was with, they smiled, and they shook my hand. At one point, my dog waved at an Afghan with a camera. She came over to our table and she took a picture of us together. being with my dog made me feel like a movie star. Just when I was really starting to enjoy myself, I looked at my watch. I told my dog, I have to leave or I'd get in trouble. He nodded. I think he was about to say something, but a glamorous greyhound grabbed his paw and whisked him onto the dance floor. And as he was getting up, he tossed me the photo of the two of us. And then he bowed slightly and he disappeared into the crowd. He's about to go and dance, huh? It was way past my bedtime, and I pedaled home as fast as I could in the cool night. And I thought to myself, wow, now I'm really going to be in the doghouse. But then again, that might not be so bad. The end. Isn't that a fun book? I forgot to tell you who that was written by. It was by Nina Ladin, or Layden. There's the cover again. I just think it's so funny. Sometimes I always think, wouldn't it be funny if we could put cameras on our dogs or cats and find out what they do all day when we don't see them, when we're at school or at work? That'd be funny. Or at night in this book, you know. I hope you enjoyed that book. I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.